Mika noticed on her walk home after university. The alley behind her apartment was usually empty except for stray cats and bicycles covered in plastic sheets. Yet tonight, beneath the buzz of a broken street lamp, the machine hummed softly. Rows of drinks lined the glass: green tea, canned coffee, lemon soda, and one black can with no label. As she approached, the machine flickered. A message appeared across the display. One chance only. Mika laughed nervously, very funny. She searched for a company logo but found none. The metal surface felt strangely warm under her fingertips. Then she heard footsteps behind her. An old woman stood at the alley entrance, clutching grocery bags. "Don't buy from it," she whispered. Mika blinked. "Excuse me?" "The machine appears every 7 years," the woman said. "Someone disappears every time." The rain intensified. Mika forced a smile. "It's probably some art project." The old woman's face drained of color. "That's what my brother said." Then she walked away. Mika should have left. Every instinct told her to go upstairs, lock the door, forget the machine exists. But curiosity is a dangerous thing. She inserted a 100 yen coin. The machine made no sound. Then the black can dropped into the tray. Ice cold. The moment her fingers touched, the alley became silent. No rain, no traffic, no distant train. Tokyo had vanished. Mika slowly turned around. The alley stretched endlessly behind her, now impossibly long, lined with identical vending machines glowing red and blue into the darkness, thousands of them. And beside each machine stood a person, motionless, watching her. Some wore school uniforms from decades ago, others looked half transparent, their faces blurred like smeared ink. One salaryman had no eyes at all. Mika's breath caught in her throat. A soft hiss came from the can in her hand. It had opened itself. Inside was no liquid but darkness, thick and swirling like black smoke. Then the nearest figure spoke. "You drank from it too?" Its jaw cracked open wider than humanly possible. Suddenly, every machine lit up at once. The figures began walking toward her, not fast, slow, dragging footsteps against invisible pavement. Mika ran. The endless alley twisted around her like a maze. Every turn revealed more machines, more silent figures, more glowing eyes in the dark. She could hear coins dropping behind her. Clink, clink, clink. The sound grew louder, closer. A hand brushed her shoulder. She screamed and stumbled forward and crashed onto wet pavement. The normal alley returned. Rain poured from the sky. Cars moved in the distance. Only the black can remained beside her, dented and empty. Mika never spoke about what happened, but neighbors began noticing strange things. Her reflection sometimes blinked a second too late. Electrical screens flickered when she passed, and every 7 years, on rainy nights, a new vending machine appears somewhere in Tokyo, waiting for someone curious enough to buy the black can. The first time Kenny heard the crying, he thought it was a cat. A long broken wail echoed through the subway tunnel beneath Tokyo Station just after midnight. The sound rose between the track lines, someone choking on tears. No one else reacted. Commuters stared at their phones. A businessman slept against the train window. Two schoolgirls laughed quietly near the doors. Only Kenny seemed to hear it. When the train arrived at the next station, an old maintenance worker stepped inside and froze the moment he saw Kenny. "You heard it, didn't you?" the man whispered. Kenny frowned. "Heard what?" The worker's face tightened. "If you heard crying on the ground, never look at the last carriage." The doors closed before Kenny could ask another question. The train lights flickered once, then the crying returned, closer this time. Kenny tried to ignore it, but curiosity slowly pulled his gaze toward the connecting door between carriages. Beyond the small glass window, the final car looked strangely dark. Too dark. The overhead lights inside flickered weakly, revealing empty seats and swaying hand straps. Then, for a split second, he saw someone standing there. A woman. Tall, thin, motionless. Her long black hair covered her face entirely. Kenny's stomach tightened. The train entered another tunnel, and all the windows became mirrors, reflections filled with carriage. Tired passengers, fluorescent lights, advertisements overhead. But the reflection of the final carriage showed something different. The woman was closer now, standing directly beside the connecting door. The crying stopped. A soft knocking replaced it. Tap, tap, tap. Nobody else noticed. Kenny stood up slowly, heart pounding. Every instinct screamed at him to move to another car, but his legs refused to cooperate. The woman knocked again. Then a voice emerged from behind the glass. "Did you see my face?" The lights died. Darkness swallowed the train. Passengers gasped around him as the subway scratched through the tunnel. Emergency lights flickered red, turning everyone into shadows. And in the crimson glow, the door to the final carriage slid open. The woman stepped through. Her movements were wrong, jerking unnaturally like frames missing from a film. Water dripped from her white dress onto the floor. No one reacted, no one except Kenny. He backed away as she tilted her head slowly toward him. Hair clung to her face like wet spider silk. "Did you see my face?" she repeated. Kenny remembered the old worker's warning. Never look, but fear betrayed him. He glanced up. The woman pulled her hair aside. Her face was smooth. No eyes, no nose, no mouth. Only pale skin stretched tightly across her skull. The train instantly stopped. Every light exploded at once. Passengers vanished. The carriage became silent. Kenny stood alone with a faceless woman beneath the pulsing red emergency glow. Then, impossibly, a mouth slid open across her blank face, wide enough to tear her cheeks apart. "You saw me." The subway doors opened to complete darkness outside. Cold hands emerged from the tunnel. dozens of them. They grabbed Kenny's arms, his legs, his clothes, dragging him screaming into the black beyond the platform. The door closed. The train continued on as if nothing had happened. The next morning, police found no evidence of Kenny, no body, no witness. Only his phone remained on a subway seat. Its screen displayed a single photograph taken at 12 a.m., a blurry image of the final carriage, and standing inside it was Kenny himself, motionless, watching the camera with a small empty face. Everyone in the village knew the forest path should never be used after sunset, especially during the Obon festival. But Daichi was 17, stubborn, and far more concerned about catching the last bus home than listening to old superstitions. The shortcut through the cedar forest would save him 20 minutes. Don't follow the lanterns, his grandmother warned as he left. Daichi laughed. Grandma, ghosts don't carry lanterns. Her expression never changed. That's why people follow them. The evening air smelled of incense and rain as Daichi entered the forest trail outside Kyoto. Cicadas screamed from the trees, and distant festival drums echoed from the town below. At first, the walk felt normal. Then he noticed the lights. Small glowing lanterns floated between the trees ahead, swaying gently in the darkness. Warm orange light flickered against the wet bark. Daichi stopped walking. Someone was out there. "Hello?" he called. No answer. The lanterns continued moving deeper into the forest, one by one, slowly, almost inviting him forward. Daichi pulled out his phone, but the screen showed no signal and only 8% battery. The path behind him had somehow become darker than before, swallowed by thick mist crawling through the trees. The lantern ahead now seemed safer than turning back, so he followed them. The forest grew silent. No insects, no wind, even the drums from the festival disappeared. Only the soft creak of lantern handles swaying in invincible hands remained. After several minutes, Daichi realized something unsettling. He could no longer see the ground clearly. The mist had thickened around his legs like pale water, and the trees seemed impossibly tall now, stretching upward into endless darkness. Then he saw the first figure. An old man stood beside a cedar tree, holding a paper lantern. His clothes looked ancient, like something from another century. His face was gray and expressionless, eyes clouded white like dead flesh. The man bowed politely, then pointed deeper into the forest. More figures appeared ahead. A mother holding a child, a soldier in a torn uniform, a woman in a funeral kimono. Each carried a glowing lantern. Each silently pointed the same direction. Daichi's heartbeat quickened. He turned to leave and froze. The path behind him was gone. Only trees remained, thousands of them, close together like prison bars. The lantern banners began walking. Now toward him, past him, all moving deeper into the forest in complete silence. Daichi noticed something horrifying then. None of them cast shadows, and none of their feet touched the ground. His phone suddenly buzzed. One new voicemail. From his grandmother. Hand shaking, he played it. If you see the procession, she whispered, do not let them think you belong with them. The battery died instantly. The lantern banner stopped working. Every head turned toward him at the exact same moment. The forest trembled softly with the sound of hundreds of lanterns' flames crackling together. Then the woman holding the child spoke. You can still join us. The child in her arms slowly lifted its head. Its eyes were completely black. More voices emerged from the mist around him, soft, mournful, hungry. Join us, Daichi, run. Branches tore at his clothes as he stumbled blindly through the trees. The lantern light floated beside him now, matching his speed effortlessly. Pale hands reached from the fog, brushing his shoulders, tugging gently at his lips. The voices became louder, more desperate, more excited. Stay, don't leave, you already followed us. Suddenly, Daichi burst out of the forest onto the roadside near his village. The light vanished instantly. The mist disappeared. Only silence remained. When he reached home, his grandmother opened the door and stared at him in horror. Daichi looked down. Mud covered his shoes, but mixed within it were ashes. And wrapped tightly around his wrist was a small paper funeral lantern with his name written across it in black ink.